Hello, this is Frank Orlando. It's June 24th, 2025, and I want to explain my protest today in Career Source. My issue is not entirely with Employ Florida or Career Source I went to, but it was a place where I could go to express my frustration with job hunting. It is not their sole responsibility, but it could be a lack of our government to regulate things, possibly, which I have discovered there is lacking area. But my issue is not entirely with it. In fact, a lot of jobs that I've applied with has been with Indeed. And I want to say for in the past, Employ Florida and Career Source, but I was over on the Hillsborough side in the past, I was able to get jobs. They had counselors, but something has changed significantly. And so there's not as many job opportunities through their website, and it's transferring to Indeed. But even with all these new job sites, most of it is through staffing agencies, and they have a lot of control. You see, because of staffing agencies, once you are blacklisted from a staffing agency, that doesn't take you out of one job, it takes you out of a number of jobs. So that is an issue that I want to talk about. But also, it doesn't, how many are controlled by a few people? It's a lot of power that they're wielding. Is it being regulated? And that is an issue that I would like addressed, not going after Employ Florida. I wonder if the state is trying to shut it down, or local municipalities, because it's not as effective as it used to be. It's not being run as good as it used to, and I don't know if that's because there are market businesses that are circumnavigating around it, or is it just that that's the intention, is to stop Career Source / Employ Florida. Career Source is the local municipal area's employment center, and I'm grateful for it. I have a computer, and I prefer personally to go to a public library where I get free Wi-Fi, and I don't think they do. And I would much rather use my computer. I'm not advocating to shut Career Source, Employ Florida / Career Source. What I am wanting to see is to investigate anything where you have age discrimination in jobs and through staffing agencies. So what I believe is happening is age discrimination is happening and even possibly race discrimination is possibly happening in companies. And that can be reverse race discrimination. But nobody is going to believe me or listen to me. We'll all just pretend. Companies can do whatever they want. That's kind of the mindset. We can bend all the rules. But at a point, I just won't be here anymore. After our state and local officials have not come up with new rules to protect us, then I just won't be here anymore. And so won't a lot of other people. That's it. Because if nobody looks at and takes what I say seriously, I also want to say, I believe there is even potential of crime influence within staffing agencies, within job board, internet possibilities. There is criminal activity, even possibly some officials or representatives of Career Source. There could be criminal activity where it affects the livelihood of people's lives. But I'm not saying for sure that there is. But I just say 8 months of looking for a job and going online day after day and finding some job boards, onboarding thing. I recently discovered there was no way for me to apply. No way to put the information onto it and it wouldn't go forward. I didn't do anything wrong. No way to put my full name. No way the I-9, there was no reason for this. It had this catch-all system. If you didn't do things certain right, well, I looked at it, it didn't even make sense to me anymore. And I had recently, like I said, applied at Express Staffing, was able to get through with their onboarding. I also had a woman to counsel. I was not through this other staffing agency, that I didn't have an office supplied. Also, I have out of state staffing agencies that want to do things online. I mean, they ask me to commit. I don't know what that means. What does commit? I want you to commit. After 3 times of going online, and I'm going to ask you to commit. Commit to what? So, anyhow, I want to lastly say, Al Capone was looked at in his time, at his height of popularity, as a successful businessman, not a criminal. Although he was looked at as a criminal possibly by law enforcement, but by people out on the street, he may have even been liked by a lot of people. Okay? But in reality, he was a criminal. So we have possibly criminal, powerful businessmen who are criminally minded. That's it. Like I said, Al Capone was a businessman, a very, very savvy businessman with savvy business ideas. Really savvy. So savvy, some people just weren't able to survive it.